Hey everyone, welcome. We are starting in just a couple of minutes. We have hundreds of people registered for this, so we got to give it just a couple minutes to let everybody get in. But welcome. I think what we're going to share with you today, you're going to find very, very exciting, important. It's going to be a great way for you to get prospects during the holidays. We're going to talk about that. We're going to share with you things that other advisors have done and how they've been successful. So just let's give it another minute or so. People are still pouring in, and we'll get started in just another minute or so. Again, welcome to everyone who's attending. We have hundreds of people registered for this call, so we're going to just take a minute or so to let everybody get in. We will be recording this, and we will be getting a link out. So if you've got people who you know should be watching this, you'll be able to share this link so they can watch this this presentation today. Okay, so while everybody's still coming in, we're going to play the trailer for you. So you can it's just about a 2-minute little clips. If you haven't seen the movie, if you haven't seen the trailer, Doug, why don't we start the trailer, and then we'll get going right after that.
Okay. For some reason, I'm not able to see it. Did you see that just now when I did that? We just
tested it. That's what always happens. You know, we test it and then it's working fine. And then we do it live.
Yeah,
click to exit full screen. I don't know what that's.
So I'm going to try something else for you. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Yeah, just.
Let me do this. Let me bring it back up a different way. There we go. See if this works.
So again, to everybody who's joining, we're just welcoming everybody in. We've got several hundred registered, so we're letting people in, but we're going to play this trailer for you just to start it out. So this is about a 2-minute clip here. Go ahead, Doug.
If you're counting on a pension being there when you retire, you should be aware that there are consultant corporations are busy hiring to figure out how to screw you out of your pension benefit. And that's what's happening across the world right now.
And it's scandalous, and it's creepy.
Everybody seems to like a pension. If you doubt that, try taking it away from them and you'll see how people react.
Those are a risky type of retirement plan to operate because you don't have a lot of certainty today about what your obligations will be in the future.
Well, most people refer to me as the father of 401k because I got internal revenue approval of the first 401k savings plan.
I don't want to do what my father's family did. I don't want to do that.
I know lots of people who have a 401k and it works really well.
When the dot-com bubble burst, my 401k became a 201k. I did not know that you could lose money in a 401k.
I'm ready to retire. We have all of our money, and then the crash happens.
The reality is that you chose the risk-based option where money was in the market.
You give the burden of planning retirement, place it upon the shoulders of the person who knows the least. I think it was a disaster.
There's got to be a better way to try to save for retirement than using something where half your money can disappear almost overnight and there's nothing you can do about it.
And what's been happening over the last few years is, yes, our accounts have been growing. It looks like we're getting wealthier, but the income that we can get from that sum of money is shrinking.
Retirement is so much different, and the advisors need to shift to become income experts and retirement income experts and risk managers.
You have to figure out what are you going to get from Social Security and Medicare.
It's been estimated that Social Security will run out of money, not entirely, but it will run out of money such that benefits will have to be cut by 1/3 for everyone, current retirees, future retirees.
What is often underappreciated is that doing nothing and really politicizing the issue is a way of doing nothing will result in a massive cut to everybody's Social Security benefits.
So, hey, I'm so excited. You know, a lot of people in that movie are people that are in my books, you know, Dr. Moshe Milevsky, Dr. David Babel. But let me introduce you to Doug Orchard. Okay. He's the director of the Baby Boomer Dilemma. He's a BYU graduate. He's had multiple documentaries, the fasting, the motivation factor, which won the best documentary award, won an audience choice award. Of course, The Power of Zero, many of you know, with David McKnight, from jail cell to stem cell, revenue reserve, the truth about the pandemic flu. I mean, Doug, you're always ahead of your time there, but you know, you do documentaries for a living. So maybe kind of tell me why did you pick this topic, and tell us a little bit about the backstory.
Yeah, so I'm interested in films that have the potential to move the needle for society. I won't touch a topic that I don't think wouldn't still be relevant a decade from now, because they sit there for a very long time. I put them on iTunes, Amazon, everywhere. And actually, this gets back to a conversation you and I had 3.5 years ago. We both spoke. I've only spoken once. You speak all the time, but it was at the same event. And you said, you know, there really needs to be another film. And you described a little about this. So we've been talking, and part of the challenge is funding these things, because it's a lot of money. And we were able to raise about $310,000 through crowdfunding. The opportunity was availed itself when Brett Ethan, he shows up in that trailer. He gets about 45 seconds of the film. He's an author of Wealth Beyond Wall Street. He called, David McKnight had suggested he calls to have me doing a documentary. And so I said, well, here's how it has to work. I'm in charge of the whole thing. Everyone's going to have to be happy with it. Nobody gets to have a say. I'll show stuff. You could give input, but I'm the editor, and this is how it works. And so we decided at the early stages that what was needed right now was an objective mirror that looks at Social Security, looks at the pension problem, looks at the 401k issues, and looks at annuities. In other words, looks at retirement income. It's a film on retirement income that's not funded by Wall Street, that's not funded by an insurance company, that's not funded by whatever, right? That's just objective. And so this film was 100% funded by crowdfunding. I didn't even know who put the money in. Brett and Ethan were the people who collected it, and they sent it over, but I didn't know who put the money in at all. And until it was time to put the credits down. So that's the executive producers and contributing producers. And on the agents here on the call will be surprised to learn that to be an executive producer in this film, they plunked down 15 grand each. And for what? To have their name appear as executive producer. And the contributing producers put down 10 grand each. So we raised $310,000 to put this film together. So if you're all wondering, what's it cost to put something like this together? That's what this one cost. And actors aren't free, nothing's free. It's very expensive. And this was a hard film to put together because of the pandemic. Very, very challenging. I filmed everything in the month of June except for Cheryl Moore and David Babel. I did them very early, March and April.
So let's get into, like, okay, I think it's a really incredible movie. How can advisors use this to get appointments? Because you know, you did it with David McKnight in The Power of Zero, but you've learned a lot of things since then. You've refined it. So let's talk about, you know, how can an advisor use this to make money?
All right, so I'm going to take a few minutes here going through this that I hope everybody will appreciate. First off, advisors since 95 or so have been using, if you're a new advisor, and I'm not an advisor, but I've kind of supported this industry off and on since early 2004. But they've done a lot with dinners, right? You know, you do the mailing, you spend 10 grand and get hopefully 15 or 20 people in a room and do a pitch and hopefully get your money back. And you only need 1 or 2 good ones, and you keep doing that. And that's been going on since 95. It's a long time people have done that. When the person gets an invitation in the mail, they know that they got a sales pitch coming. You know, they go in with that sales pitch. You know, there's a chip on their shoulder. Things are really different with a movie. Everything you know about getting people to come into a dinner, I want you to write it all down, temporarily crumble it up and put it in a temporary wastebasket. I mean, you bring it back and dust that off later, but the rules are different for what we're doing. I know how to promote a movie and film and get people to a theater event. That's one of the ways we're going to talk about. Another way is to actually hand out the film in one way or the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to theboomermovie.com website right now.
And write that down. Write down theboomermovie.com. Theboomermovie.com. That's the website you're going to need in the future if you ever want to do any of this.
Yeah. So see if I can exit screen cap. Okay, there we go. So the first thing that comes on was that trailer option. In fact, I'm going to refresh this screen and just show you what this looks like. So when you go here, you have one option, and this takes you to Real House if you were to click this button. And I want to follow through here first. And I know that we have very experienced agents, large agencies, IMOs, everybody's on this call, but I'm talking to the person who has, like, you know, $50 allocated, and that's all they've got in life. And they've got this one client on the fence that they want to talk to. I want to start here because what I'm going to talk to you about to you is going to apply to everybody else. Right here, this is embedded link, and you could say, okay, I want to watch this movie, and it's $29.99. All right. There's a reason why we're going to talk about all that for a moment, but just bear with me for a moment. It takes you to this website, and one of the options is to click this bundle. That's $29.99. If you see the details, you see that there is the film, which is 85 minutes long. It's a PG rated movie. Everybody needs to understand, to be PG rated by the Motion Picture Association, most documentaries are not rated. Like 99% of them are not rated. And to get rated, it can't be an infomercial, it can't be a TV commercial, right? And most films, most documentaries are. That's just what they are. They were the way they were funded, or some reason, the people whose job it is to screen motion pictures for ratings, they will say, nope, we can't even give this a rating because of that reason. So this film got that. So we have a third-party endorsement, the MPA, acknowledging that this is objective, right? That's important. People should understand that. You may want to communicate that to your clients. So there's the film right here. It's 85 minutes long. And then below that, you see that there are extended interviews. Now, these are interviews that are not in the movie. This is the content that we wished could be in the film, but we were limited. And it adds up to over 2 hours of additional content that's included when they purchase this. So this is a bundle that includes bonus material, including 45 minutes here of Dr. David Babel, where he outlines, and this is the guy whose dissertation was on inflation. This is the guy that was recruited from Berkeley when the dean at Wharton was ranked 7th in the United States for MBA programs, or the world, or whatever, how they do their rankings. It was ranked 7th. Everyone knows they're 1. They've been number 1 forever, but they were ranked 7th. And the dean went on an acquisition binge, and he hired David Babel, and along with a couple others. And that year, they went from number 7 to number 1 in 1 year. So David Babel is no slouch, right? And David Babel is who Goldman Sachs then tapped and said, would you come as on a sabbatical to Goldman Sachs and create this insurance services division for us? In which, in 1 year, he then goes through a recruiting binge. They got Nobel Prize winning economists, a bunch of people part of it. And he makes them number 1 in the world in a year. So David Babel is very serious, a player. And when you watch the film, you appreciate a little bit more about them. But I wanted to give you that background about who he is and why. So he outlines in 45 minutes his full strategy. It's going to be cut. You're going to see cuts. Those cuts aren't because I wanted to edit out certain things. Those were cuts because he's walking around the room. He had to walk around the room after every 4 or 5 minutes because his pain was so bad from leukemia that he was experiencing. He knew he was dying, and he was adamant that this goes out. So I have full support from his family. This is the only place on the planet Earth you can see his strategy fully laid out. It's right here. So communicate that to your clients. It's impossible to replicate as he's passed away. And again, I had full support and permission to do this.
And,
So-
and Doug, what's so important is that in the movie, he says he owned 14 annuities, and I own 11 annuities. So I mean, here, Dr. David Babel is in all of my books, and now you get to hear directly from him why and how he used them. I mean, it's very powerful for anybody to say they're against annuities and watch that. It'd be very, very difficult for them to come away saying, "No, I don't believe in annuities."
Yeah, that film's gonna nail it for 50% of the clients out there. And then you got your engineers that it's gonna be pretty good, and maybe they need additional. What would I do? I would have them watch that. Let them just watch that. That's your engineers. They're gonna listen to it, and then you have them. All right. So that's a little bit about the way that works and what that's all about. So if we just go back to the main site right here at theboomermovie.com, that's what there. So you can buy that as a gift for one client, okay? And you can send it to them as a gift. It's the only platform that I'm aware of in the world of the streaming media that enables you to do that. You can't do that on iTunes. You can't do it on Amazon. We had people with Power Zero trying to buy gift cards for the Power Zero or for for iTunes or gift cards to Amazon, and give it to clients and say, please use this gift card and buy the Power Zero movie. You know, they don't have to. They might use it to go get something else. But here you can actually just give it to somebody. So this again is for your onesie, twosies, the gals that want to just give it a test. What would happen for this one person on the fence or these three people? There you go. I also wanted to see what you're going to get, because you have a way to give this out in bulk. And I'm going to skip for a moment over the next one. And as I scroll through, I'm going to show this. And this is a streaming gift card. All right. And what I've got with with Real House is I've negotiated an exception. And as far as I'm aware, I'm the only filmmaker that's ever got this. I've been with them since 2014, and you're able to buy these streaming gift cards in bulk and give them to a client who can redeem them. They have that code that we see right here. You know, we see this code. It'll have a code like this. They'll simply enter the code right here, enter their email by typing it into the direct link, boomermovie.com/access. You don't need to type that in, but you could do that later to see what it looks like. It'll take them to the site that just has this there. They enter their email, they enter that code, and the $29.99 price immediately goes down to zero. They see it go from this 29 that you see up here down to zero instantly when they enter that code. There's no question about the value you're providing when you give them this card. None, right? Now, you're not paying $29.99 for it, but they see that that's the value and what happens. Right now, you can buy 50 of these cards, which are DVD-sized cards, all right? These are with the poster on the front and those instructions you see right here on the back of the card. Very simple. So, so again, they're the exact size of a DVD case, and it's designed for you to simply mail this, hand this out in some way, but it's a physical card that you're handing out. Now, yes, you could take a picture of the back and just email it to somebody. I strongly advise against doing that if you can. The reason being is there's something special when you hold a physical thing in your hand. There's something exciting when you get an oversized envelope in the mail. We're not using physical mail. We're losing that physical touch with people right now. And they get this, there's a real value. And right now, it's all about getting someone's attention and getting them to actually watch the film. Most of your hard work goes away when they watch the movie, but your job is to get them to watch the film. So Tom and I are going to be talking a lot more about that. But first, I want you to understand the streaming gift card. This grants ownership to the movie and ownership to all that content, which they could view, they could stream, they could download to their computer, or they can cast it over to their TV, right? So they got all those options. So that's how that whole thing works. Again, it's ownership, not a rental. It's not a one-time view. If you ever have a client say, hey, I got access at first and I watched the film and I want to go back in, but the code's not working when I went back in. Well, that's because they've already used that code for themselves. It already knows who they are, their email. It will never give access that way. What they need to do now is log into Real House. This will be just for that small percentage, but you're going to have a couple of people probably ask you this question. It could happen. What they will need to do is hit the login button at the top right of Real House. This is the same for iTunes, the same for Real House, or for Amazon, and the same for everybody, really. They just hit that login button, enter their email and their passcode. If they forgot their passcode, they'll hit the forgot passcode button. It'll email them the opportunity to redeem their, renew their passcode, and then they'll have access when they log into Real House. There it is. And forever, as long as Real House is around, there's the film and that bonus footage for them. Okay. So that's the streaming gift card. What I want to do now is share with you the way I have designed this whole thing to work. I knew that this movie would be a hit. I knew that the film itself would capture their attention. We've got actors in here. It's designed to do certain things for them. And it was tested. It was tested all over the place to work. And we're seeing those results for the purest people holding in theater. But I designed this movie for you to sit in front of the client at a theater and show it to them. Okay. And so there's a public screening license that you can participate in. You click it here and then you can buy it. And you'll need to buy a public screening license for every time you show this to the public. And public, by definition, is anyone but besides you in your own house with your own family. The moment it's a client and you're in an office, by definition, that's now public. It's a major motion picture. We have to follow all those rules. So it's the same as what if you had Star Wars. Just think about you're showing Star Wars in your office. You can't have clients come in, you're just watching Star Wars. That's not private anymore. So that's how that works. So you'll need a license. The license will cost $300 every time you buy it to show it. And you'll need to work out arrangements with the theater. And I want to talk with you about how this works. There's this video that a lot of you have taken the time to watch already. These were the first two agents to try this. I know these guys. They were using Power Zero before, but I knew them back in 2008. My daughter has a heart condition. We went down to a special clinic in Carlsbad. While we're there, I needed an office space. I subbed it from them. They were financial advisors. I was doing video stuff. And that's how I got to know them. And they found out, they kind of reconnected with me with the Power Zero. And they found out I was doing this new movie. And they said, hey, we want to put this in the theaters right away. And they go, can we see the movie? I go, well, you can't see it yet. So they actually booked the theater, took the trailer, took the poster and started promoting it. And they had never seen the movie. All right. So it's a great story. I mean, if you think about this, and they had 169 people sign up. They only had about 50 people show. They had 169 people sign up and they had 50 people show. Everybody should be taking notes right now about that. Okay. This is post-COVID world. Commitments mean nothing now. And you want to overbook. I don't care how many people sign up, 200 people sign up, plan on 50 people showing, right? Expect that. Now they've been working harder and harder about doing, a lot of phone calls and other stuff to improve that percentage, but that was their stats on the first one. So they did a lot of cool things, right? And offered, in the testimony, all I'm going to share is what they say in their own testimony. I don't want to give away, because everyone gets mad if I share their own individual secrets. I think we get that. But what they say in this testimonial is they had a gift card to the concession stand, right? And so they offered with that gift card, free popcorn and drink or whatever you can get with this that they redeemed. And what's cool is if you offer that only to those who are going to show up 15 minutes early, now you actually have people there. There's a lot of people like myself who like to go to movies and we're perpetually late because we don't want to sit around and watch 20 minutes of trailers before the movie starts. There are no trailers that start before a theater event when you're the host of the theater event. So what they did is they called their local AMC theater. This is the nicest theater that was in their area. and they asked, can we show a brand new released film that we have a license to show in your theater? And they'll have a lot of questions for you. Once they learn that it's rated PG by the Motion Picture Association, and we have a direct link, then they're cool with that. And then they'll give access, and they'll charge you somewhere between $300 to $700 or maybe even more for the theater. Sometimes they charge you for a time slot specific to a movie, maybe for 2 hours, or sometimes they charge you for the rest of the evening, like from 3 or 2 in the afternoon all the way until 10 at night. If that's the case, you may want to consider actually doing 2 of them in that time slot. But in any case, so one, you want to draw them in after they've registered off a Facebook ad. And that's what they said. That's all they did. They used the poster, they used the trailer, and that's it. And why do I say that's it? Well, think about every movie you've ever gone and watched. Did you go to the film's website? No. Did you read all this other? No. What do you do? What are you going to do Friday night? Right? What are you going to do this Friday night? Are you going to go to the movies? You don't know. But if you see a good trailer for a movie, hey, you go see, let's go see a movie. You don't need a lot of prep time. You don't need to start 6 weeks or 2 months in advance to hold these things. The timeline is just the theater. The theater is going to say, okay, well, we'll let you book this, and then we want you to give us the film because we need to make sure it's all good and working. And they usually want 5 to 15 days before an event to make sure that the file, and this is what it looks like. It's a DCP file, and it's on an actual hard drive. It's a Unix hard drive. They're $500 per copy, by the way, for me to get these copied. So I will mail to you for you to give to the theater the DCP copy for your theater and the hard drive. And then you're going to mail that back. So it comes out early, and then you'll need to kind of budget about $30 for UPS to send that back to me. And please send it UPS. I've already lost one with FedEx. I've lost something else also with USPS. Right now, UPS is the only one that seems to be working. It's really, we got to step it up in our country. So with these theater events, that's all you've really got to do. You just make a phone call to them. There's a couple things you'll want to do to structure this so that this is effective, right? There's 2 things you've got to do. You need to get someone to watch the movie, and then you need to get people to talk to you about the movie. You don't want them going back to their advisor. So how do you do that? So I want to just outline this. It's Facebook ads is pretty much all you'll need to do. You don't need to spend crazy money doing physical mailings and letters and all that stuff to film at the theater. You want to give yourself, a couple weeks or less to book the event and to get people there by advertising it. Have them register. And once they've registered that they're going to come in and see this, by the way, how do we promote this? We're promoting a movie. We're not promoting you. This is very, very different from the stuff we've been doing in the past. In the past, it's been about your brand identity. And it's, you just take the opportunity to tell how great you are, how much you know. Temporarily put that ego aside for a moment, because that's going to hamper how many people show. They're not expecting a sales pitch if you do it like you've done other community events where you were just the sponsor for like the local baseball event or local swim thing where you had your banner there and that was it, or your name appeared on a t-shirt with a whole bunch of other companies on the back. Like you were the sponsor, but everybody went to that event. They weren't expecting a sales pitch, right? That's important. Don't mess that part up. People will go to a movie based off a trailer that looks interesting. What are you doing? You're holding a community, you are sponsoring a community event. And as the sponsor, you're covering the ticket prices for the event. People understand that you're the sponsor. When they come, your table's off to the side. It's not about you until the movie's done. So we're going to talk about it in a moment. But so your advertisement, the focus is the trailer and the poster, and it's a community event, and it's just sponsored by you guys. That's it. That's all. That's the whole ad. Nothing more. You don't need to do anything more. It's not hard. They don't need to read anything. They're just going to watch the trailer, and that's something they're going to either want to see or not see. And most people want to see it. So this is pretty easy. The title itself will draw them in for that audience that you're hitting. So when they do come to the theater, or before they come to the theater, once they've registered, you will do verification before they show. And this isn't like, don't go too crazy here, because you don't want to spook anybody. I just try, I know a lot of people are going to try to go back to the old method and phone verify to the level of, are they really qualified? You know, if a few people slip in that aren't qualified, it's not costing you much, right? So what you want to do is let them know that you have a gift card to the concession stand, or whatever you want to call this thing, when they come, if they come 15 minutes early, so they have enough time to get it before the film starts. That's all you want to let them know, and verify that they're coming. So you have someone phone verify, email verify, whatever, but get a confirmation to have some kind of numbers, and then remind, especially if it gets really close that day. They will all forget. Most people forget. That's just how people are now. And then after they go into the theater, when you hand out that gift card, you're going to also hand out a little card that they fill out with their information. And I wouldn't even say, I want a free consultation, click. I wouldn't do that. I would just say their information. That's it. Very simple. Name, phone number, email, whatever you want. Something very basic for that. You already have a bunch of information because they registered. So why are we doing that? You give them that card and say, we got another gift at the end of this movie that we're going to give to you. So, but we're going to need that. You're going to need to hand that in. That'll just let us know, here's the gift that we're going to give to you. That's all I'd say. Nothing more. Got it? So then they're going to go into the movie. They're going to watch the movie. And this gets to the part that's super important for you. You've got one job to get right. And if you screw this up, then the whole thing's almost a waste. I designed this film, if you watched it, that they are watching it until it says Doug Orchard Films copyright. I mean, the very end, you are watching the credits. David Babel is talking, nobody's leaving. They are watching that. They are riveted. And then the film's just suddenly done. The credits have gone through their thing and they're still in their seats. Now, I can't express to you how rare that is in film, right? Just think about every movie you've ever watched. No one's in the seats last, except for those weird people that read the credits. I don't even read someone's credits. I mean, a lot of people are doing reading the credits, but they are all here. Why did we want that? Because you've got an invitation for them and they have to still be in their seats. So what your job is to talk with the management that you want the moment that film's done, the second it's done, you want those lights to go on and that mic to be hot, right? You're gonna have a mic sitting right here and you're gonna talk into it. You can have it hot and ready to go. I was there the first night and I said this, and those guys did not do that. All right. I mean, they tried, but it didn't happen. And then they sat there and it wasn't, and then one of the agents gets up to go out and try to find management to get turned on lights. Thankfully, the other guy had the presence of mind to just get up there while it's dark, because it gets dark. The lights aren't on and the screen is dark, right? There's nothing left there. And he says, hold on for 30 seconds. We have a gift we want to give to you. And you're going to want to hear about this before you go, and then gives the pitch. He was able to accomplish it in the dark, and everybody took it, did this. But you want to have those lights turned on. So I would have somebody 10 minutes before the end go meet and just kind of make sure it happens. This is where you want to be that, micromanager on this one issue. And what are you going to say? And it doesn't even have to be you. It could be an assistant, it could be anybody. All you need to say is, and you'll hold up the streaming. I don't have one in front of me right now. I don't have one. The streaming gift card, and say, we have the streaming a gift card here valued at $30 for everybody here tonight. That gives you ownership to the movie we just watched, including over 2 hours of extended interviews, as well as 45 minutes of Dr. David Babel, who we just got done listening to, where he outlines his full strategy of how he does this. The content that couldn't get into the movie. It's super important that you see this. We're giving this to everybody here who would like to meet with us briefly to find out, what's the optimal time for you to draw on your Social Security that Tom Hegna talked about in the film. And what would an illustration look like for an annuity for you to fill in your essential needs gap? what that looks like. That's what we accomplish. If you're interested in doing that, we've got this gift card. All you have to do is hand us that card as you come through, and we'll have that appointment, and then we'll give you that card, in our meeting. And that's all you got to say. So it's a very simple thing. So what I just said, rewind, write that down, and just say that. And you don't need to say anything else. You're done. So very simple, and most of the people in that room will take you up on that offer.
Hey, Doug, can we play this clip of these agents who did it?
Yep. Let's do that.
Let's play that.
We just finished with our first premiere here in Colorado of the Baby Boomer Dilemma. Had about 150 folks show up tonight. Social media post, it was phenomenal. Feedback was great. We did some post-movie interviews, and I think we've got a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I think we do. And people came out just saying, my God. I mean, I wish somebody would have told us a long time ago, yeah. I got to give this information to other people as well.
Yep.
What are we going to do?
Listen.
We're 2 months away from retiring. What are we going to do?
So we're gonna continue to show these movies in local theaters around, and our connection was through Facebook, all social media platform. We had a trailer in that Facebook ad, and we continue to promote that within a community radius of about 15 miles
20
of the
miles,
theater. And we even had folks for the next one that we announced that have already said, I need to bring my friends and my neighbors. So it's been a huge success.
Yeah.
And one of the offers was we give everybody that came a $10 gift card for popcorn and a soda. But everybody came early, used the gift cards.
We'll call the financial advisor. He'll tell us everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
I'm scared.
At the end of the movie, we decided to share some additional information regarding the streaming opportunity to see additional footage. Doug has over 2.5 hours of additional interviews.
Yeah.
And we offered that to them in exchange for information to be able to have a 30-minute consultation. Let's do let's chat and find out where you are. Can we help you? But in the meantime, share the rest of this content. And here's the ability to own the movie and the additional footage. And everybody that was here gave us a card.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Doug, we got a ton of questions. So let's scroll through and show the other options, and then let's dive into some of these questions.
That's great. Okay. So that's the public screening license. We looked at the streaming gift card. The other option, of course, is an actual DVD and Blu-ray. So what this is a packet that includes 200 Blu-ray DVDs. This is the first run, by the way, that we're doing. It's at the manufacturer. It won't mail. The DVDs don't mail until January the 12th. So they are doing the fulfillment directly out. I did a 10,000 piece run. We sold 8,200 of them so far, and they're not mailing to anything less than 200. So currently, it's a big order. Okay. So it includes 200 Blu-ray DVD, it's a DVD case that includes both inside it, because we don't know if those people who are into those discs still, we don't know if they're DVD people, we don't know if they're Blu-ray people. So I put in both of them, as well as 200 of the streaming gift cards. It's included. So you'll get streaming gift cards mailed from Missouri, and that'll happen right away off your order. And the Blu-ray DVDs are shipped from New Jersey on January the 12th. And so the only other thing is we do have this mammoth bundle, and that includes multiple licenses, a lot of streaming, and it's actually 800 streaming gift cards and 800 Blu-ray DVDs. I had about eight agents take me up on that so far. So that's where most of the 10,000 or the 8,200 that we sold so far went.
So maybe, Doug, maybe just touch on what the prices are on these different levels.
Yeah. So if we go right to the store, that's how you get here to buy anything. You just go right here to the store. There's two options on the streaming gift card. The first is a quantity of 50 of them. They're at $9.95 each. So it's $495, no shipping, no tax currently. So, and it's mailed from the state of Missouri. If someone were to put an order in this afternoon early, it would be shipped from Missouri, and you'd probably have it next couple of days. So that's pre-printed. I pre-printed 30,000 of them in groups of 50. Then there's the streaming license right here, $300 to have a license for one public showing. And I would never just do one. Doug Orchard, if I were to do this, I would do 3. I would have 1 like on a Tuesday, the beginning of the week, and I would do 2 more the next week, like on a Thursday and on a Saturday, or a couple on Saturday, matinees. So, and then it's for the complete media solution for the 200 DVD, Blu-rays, and 200 streaming gift cards. Those are $16.25 each. Again, you're getting a streaming gift card and you're getting the Blu-ray DVD. So if you do the math on that, it comes out to be much lower than if you buy just the one. And it's impossible to buy a DVD without a streaming gift card. They come together so that when you hand those out, you're getting people's attention, really getting their attention with that. The DVD case, Blu-ray case, is one of the few things that people do understand. Even if they don't have that model anymore, they also include a streaming gift card. So they're going to be able to watch it, that you cover all the formats there. And that's 10 grand to get the mammoth bundle right there with all that in there. And that works out that the DVDs actually are free if you do the math on it.
So Doug, like the people who buy the mammoth, that's like if there's a bigger organization and they might use that with multiple advisors, that type of thing.
It's that way, but the people who bought that so far, they were the executive producers and they're individual agents. They just are agents hitting it really big. 800 sounds crazy, but those 2 agents that we just saw, they've done 3 theater events now. There's over 485 people that they've captured in their marketing for those 3 theater events. So 800 isn't that far off. And they've got another 7 scheduled now that they're doing. So because of their results. So you're going to need a lot, but you can start small. You can start with a 50, and just keep ordering. They come a few days later. It's not a problem.
Yeah, and that 400, they'll probably get 300 or 400 referrals too, because it's easy to get a referral from somebody. Hey, do you know anybody else who'd like to see this movie? Yeah, my buddies at work should see this. My neighbor, my aunt, my uncle, and I mean, it's a quick way to get referrals. Let me just share my screen real quick, Doug. I was just going to show them that bucket, the bucket thing. First of all, let me do 2 things. Number 1. Take a picture of this or write this down. So for 48 hours, if you have not seen the movie, you can see it free if you go to the boomermovie.com/get access. Get access. Okay. It's only going to be up for 48 hours. So if you want to see it for free, you don't want to share this with your clients. You want to use the actual thing to use with your clients, but this is for you to watch it. All right. And then the other thing is, we did this with my PBS TV special, Don't Worry, Retire Happy. We made these popcorn buckets, put in 2 Cokes, some candy. You make movie night. So if you actually get the DVDs, you can go down to the dollar store, you get these popcorn buckets, and then you can put some candy from the dollar store in there. If you want to put some Cokes or whatever, you can make movie night for people. And I'm telling you, people love movies. You can even do the gift card with this because a lot of people don't have DVDs or Blu-rays anymore. You just put the gift card in there and make movie night for them. It's just a neat idea. So that's what I wanted to share, Doug, and I'll stop sharing now.
Well, Tom, can I just say with that, what we're looking at, this is all about getting people's attention, right? And creating that interest and make people want to do something. That looks so inviting. And a lot of people, they want to cut corners in the wrong place. Try to save money somewhere else. Don't save it in getting people to watch this movie, and because this movie's gold. Those agents, I'm going to disclose, and I hope they're not mad. I know they're going to listen to this, but their first client that came through the door brought in $2.5 million. So what is that, like 175,000 commission or something? So, this is big. I don't know what is bigger for you right now that would actually help you capture that attention and get them to really talk to you.
And Doug, 2 other things. I think the timing of this is perfect. Why do I say that? 2 reasons. Number 1, it's the holidays. You're going to have trouble sitting down with people. Okay. It's just the way it is. Oh, talk to me after the first year. Oh, talk to me after the first year. Well, guess what? What do people do during the holidays? They watch movies. This is perfect for the timing. And then what just happened with the stock market last week and a half? The market went down over 1,000 points. So it got people's attention again. And people don't listen until there's some pain going on or until the market, they don't want to listen. So now I think you've got their attention. It's the perfect time of year to do it. So, I mean, whether you want to start out small, you want to go big, that's totally up to you. I just try to bring you opportunities so that you can have success out there. And I want you to be successful, whether it's November, December, any time of year. So I just think the timing of this is perfect. But Doug, you know, we want to respect people's times. Let's get into some questions. Tim, you might want to, you can open up your camera or not or whatever, but ask us the questions that you got, because I saw a whole bunch of questions coming through.
Well, yeah, we got a ton of questions today. Thanks for all of those. I'm just going to get right into some of them we can answer right away. Doug and Tom take turns answering, whoever feels most comfortable. So we got 2 questions from David H here. Simple one, he's planning on ordering 50 gift cards, but he wants to get this movie to a client immediately. He's hoping to get it to them tonight. Is there possibly a way to execute that, Doug?
Yeah, we talked about that at the beginning. Just go to boomermovie.com, theboomermovie.com, go to theboomermovie.com. And the first thing that shows up is, you know, the $29.95. Click that button and buy it as a gift. You'll have the option to buy it as a gift and send it to that person tonight. You can do that right now. That's the only way, but that can happen right now.
Awesome, thanks, Doug. Question from Michael K here. Any type of FINRA approval for advertising if needed?
First off, I will tell you that we knew that was there the whole time making the film. So it has been through all of that. A lot of brokers are looking at it, and there's Zippo issue, none.
And here's what I'll say about compliance. Like, you can use Forbes magazine on an appointment, all right? As long as you use the whole magazine. You can't cut out an article, you can't highlight. It's the same with a movie. If it's a full movie, and this is a documented, this has a Motion Picture Association rating on it, okay? Normally compliance doesn't have a problem if you use the entire thing. You just can't take out a clip or just, you know, cherry pick what you want to say. If you're showing the movie in its entirety, I don't think you're going to have a problem, because it's not about selling. There's no sales in here at all. There's no sales pitch at all whatsoever. It's not a sales movie at all. They wouldn't have got the rating if it was.
Right.
This is a movie.
All right, we've got a good conversation going on between Aaron and Barry. They've got a unique question I want to get to here. So Aaron's asking, is there a way to monitor the voucher codes to know if a code has been used or not? This would provide very useful info. They'd like to also know, can they be voided after 90 days so they're not wasting any postcards?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is no different for you than a DVD is. When you hand it out, you don't know if they watch it, you don't know anything. It's going to be the exact same way. I am so happy I got this through with Real House, but all those other tools, no, they're gone. So literally, you hand that out, it's gone. Right? And that's it. Just assume it's been watched or not watched. There's no feedback loop. There's nothing that can happen that way.
All right, thanks, Doug. Charles asked a question here. I thought I answered, but I don't think I did. If someone reuses the code, is it possible to use up my 50 codes since all of them are the same? It looks like Charles may have ordered and got 50 of the same.
Yeah. So Charles, he can't reuse the code. It won't allow him. It won't allow him to. It tells him when he put it in. If you did this yourself, you'll experience it, because your email is already associated with that code for the film, because you already own it. I can't go buy my own movie right now. I've already owned it, so it won't allow you to. So, but it does not take up a code. So, and he is correct. These are printed. I printed 30,000 at a time, but they were printed in 50 intervals. So it's a unique code per 50, unless you do 200 or 800, and then there are some that.
And so, Doug, it's the email associated with the code that does it. And then once they've used it, they can go to Real House. They can log in to watch it over and over, but they can't use that code again. They have to go to Real House to do it.
Yeah, I won't even let them in. I won't let them buy it. So the answer is no. It's not going to screw up your codes. You're fine.
Here's a related question, Doug. Is there a way to personalize the ID codes for an advisor? Say if they want to partner up with someone, is there a way to personalize these codes, or are they just generic?
Yeah, I thought long and hard. I want everyone to listen to me on this one. You want to get the value of this is It's a gift card for a movie that you went out and bought and gave to them. The moment your branding is on that card, it now feels a little weird, right? Just think about that for a minute. If you gave somebody a gift card to, I mean, whatever, some dinner place, if it's your name all over it and you're giving a gift card to McDonald's, I mean, that's not how it works. It's a gift card, it's something you bought off the shelf and gave. So what you should do is handwrite a note. I would do handwrite a note and put it on the gift card. The gift card is a product that you purchased and are handing to them. And then you put your note and information in addition to it. That's the right way to do this. I had options to go either way on this, and we went through the whole process and decided it is way more, the value is stronger that you hand this other product out, that they see it's $29.99. They're not going to appreciate that $29.99 going down to zero if your name's imprinted on that card, as if just the card itself. It'll come through better that way. So no, it's just those codes, and those codes are 100% random. Went through a software thing. It's all pre-populated and done. So that's how that worked.
Follow-up question to that, I guess I misunderstood. They're wondering if there's a way to segregate each advisor. Is there a way to track these redemptions? Doug, I think you already answered that. But.
No, there's not a way. There's not a way to do any of that. You need to, if you went and bought 50 gift cards from Target and you handed out 50 gift cards from Target to your advisors as a Christmas present, you don't know when those gift cards are used. You gave out the 50 gift cards. That's how it, if you bought 50 DVDs and handed them out, you don't know if they're watched or not. It's the same thing with a streaming gift card. What happens behind the scene, they work, but there's no like, I'm not going through and that's not an option.
But that's also why when you give the gift card, you just don't want to hand them out willy-nilly. You got to, these are valuable things. So like, I can give this to you if you watch it, but if you're not going to watch it, I'm not going to give it to you. Like, this is valuable. I paid a lot of money for this. I want you to watch it. I'll give it to you if you do watch it, but if you're not going to watch it, just tell me, because I don't want to just waste the money. I mean, I would be selective.
When you send it out, you let them know in your handwritten note that you'll call them in a couple of days and ask them what they thought of it. Establish your expectation they're going to see it in this time frame, then call them in that time frame. If they haven't watched it, renegotiate what the time frame is. Okay, so you need this weekend then? Okay, then let's talk Monday, and then call them. Then they'll have watched it. Now you'll have only a small percent watch it the first time, but that's what you do. You don't. Tom is absolutely right. You don't just blanket mail it out, right? That's not what this is. But when you got something that's warm, or you have a bunch of people who registered to watch your film event who didn't end up coming, those are people you can follow up with now. They're warm leads. They were interested in this film. Hey, you got these gift cards. You know, you can give it to them that way. So.
We got a question from Amanda here about the bonus material. She's wondering, why is Stephen Church a deleted scene? What makes it deleted, and why is it in the bonus section instead of part of the movie?
Wow, I got to tell you, you're absolutely right. She watched it. That's a fascinating interview. He was a fund manager for CalPERS and for New York State Pension. And he's a statistician, and he went back and drew from 1980 to 2000. He went and looked at all of the numbers that the pensions did on their actual returns. And he found that there has never been a 20-year tranche, 1982 to 2012, whatever those 20 years period would be, 2002, any 20-year tranche where they ever beat the US Treasury rate, the pension funds. And yet the state pensions are saying, we're going to get 7%. So now the corporate pension funds are always listing the Treasury rate. So it's an explosive interview, but because we already had Bill Sharp, a Nobel Prize winning economist, say that, it just got too much when his interview, there's a lot of stuff like that when you do a film. I mean, it is frustrating as can be. I had a tough time. I was stuck at 2 hours and 10 minutes. And in one day, a lot came out to make it 85 minutes. And that was one of the casualties. But he didn't carry the weight as a name like Bill Sharp did and the others. So that's why. But he deserves to be there. And when your clients watch that, it's rather explosive. Yeah.
We got multiple people asking, do the promo codes expire at all?
They do not. They're set to go forever.
We also have a testimonial that came in from Gene. I'd just like to read it real quick. I can't put you on camera or anything, Gene, so I'll just read it. I was at the movie premiere in October in Salt Lake City. The movie was very impactful and very emotional due to David Babbel's part at the very end of the movie. I ordered 200 cards and 200 DVDs. I've already received my cards, and I've already made over 30K in the last 6 weeks just from the DVDs. Related question, someone was asking, once they make their order, what's the estimated ship time there?
Okay, so they're shipped. I aggregate the orders and I send them to the manufacturer each day, and so they're being shipped each day, and they're being shipped from Missouri. So for most people, you're going to get it a couple days after your order. Some people, California, Maine, it might be an extra day. So that's what you should anticipate.
We got a really good question from Armando here. He's wondering, Doug, is there a Spanish version of this movie? Are there any subtitles or anything like that?
There are subtitles in English, closed captioning at Real House. When you go watch that, they can hit the CC button and see this in English. I have not translated it into Spanish. I haven't had any requests for that. I can do that. It only cost me a couple $100. I see. No, maybe it's $900. I think it's $900. So, have him email me if you guys, if people want to give me feedback and say, no, there's a market here. We would like to have that option. I could have that done and thrown it up there. It would probably take, if I got on it tomorrow, it would be up there by Monday at Real House. So it would be available from then on. So, maybe people can weigh in and let me know if you really think that's important.
We got Chinese. They want simplified Chinese too. I saw the comment just come in.
Really?
Yeah, multiple chats about Spanish as well. That makes sense. Just email Doug or look him up on Facebook, LinkedIn. We got a question from Terry here. Can we as agents get access to watch the bonus material since we didn't get access with the original watching of the movie? Does that /get access URL come with the bonus material?
It doesn't. The only way you're going to have that is you're either going to use one of your card codes or you're going to go in and buy it. I'm not, that was 2 hours. Yeah, no, it's great. If you think the film's good, that's good. But this is the material that didn't make the movie. But yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Doug, do you want to plug your email address, or would you like them just to go through the website?
I actually want them to just go to theboomermovie.com and hit the contact button and fill that. That would work best, because I have people kind of helping me sometimes say, hey, did you respond to this? We can see if there's been a response. You send it right to my email box. Good luck.
We've got a question from Bonita, who probably missed, I think you answered this earlier, Doug. She's asking, what criteria should we use to pre-qualify invitees? You had said keeping it simple is good. Can you speak on that again?
Well, are we talking about a theater event right now? Is that what the question is?
Yeah, I think we got multiple questions about.
You can go in and look at the demographics. I mean, you definitely don't want to keep that simple as far as who your ad's going to, right? Your Facebook ads allow you to look at income and house ownership and age and within 10 miles of the theater, right? So I would definitely be very selective there and start, with a small, shoot on your shotgun there. So I wouldn't, but what I'm saying is once they've registered, when I say phone verify or email them, I wouldn't then go give them the third degree and make sure like, oh, I don't think you're financially healthy enough to come to this movie. You're now disinvited. Don't do that. It's costing you basically nothing for them to walk through and watch the film. They could be a great source of referrals for you. You don't know where these things go and you're expanding your influence. So that's where I say,
yeah, age wise, you're looking at baby boomers, 50 to 75 is going to be the prime market for this. And, if they have income over a certain level, that might help, or assets over a certain level, or, Cadillac owners or Lincoln Continental drivers or whatever, there's numerous ways to pick income without picking income. People who subscribe to Forbes or Barron's or whatever. So, Facebook can slice and dice all that for you.
Doug, we got some questions. I'm wondering if you're going to do the same thing with the Power of Zero. You going to do gift cards or anything like that?
I have. It's done. It's done. I'm not, if you go to getoffthetracks.com, go to getoffthetracks.com, you will see that there's a streaming gift card available right now. And you'll be, if you order, you'll be the second person to order. The first one just ordered. It just happened. So yes. And it's ownership there as well.
Doug, some people are asking, is there a promo code they can use on the bundles that you showed today? Are there any discounts?
Yeah, so that is the discount, guys. That is the discount. Everyone needs to understand that we are in a brand new release. It's only in theaters. And like any movie, since COVID started, you can't go watch rentals when things are in theaters. Like there's that, and that's the license you have for theaters. So please understand that I'm under a lot of handcuffs with this as an MPA film. I have to follow very specific rules. I've also got, Tom, you asked me to mention this, I forgot, but I'm gonna mention it now. The largest distributor of films online in the world, I bagged them, I'm their client. And they have 5 movies a year that they get to place on Amazon in that top spot on iTunes. You know, when something plays, you always wonder, why is iTunes showing that these are the only 7 movies to watch, right? How do you get that slot? In about February, all of a sudden, the baby boomer dilemma is going to show up, and there it's going to be. It'll be that, James Bond, and whatever else, right? It'll be that. So this is not a small deal. This was a big thing, but to get that, I will tell you, there are you just appreciate there's so many things I'm checking and going through. So this film, to even be available on Real House, I am pushing that envelope as far as it can go. It can only be $29.99. It's a public site. When you see boomermovie.com, you are considered distributors. These are not to the public because there's all kinds of rules I'm checking. So this is the discount rate. There's no code. Please know that there's no human being on the planet that's bought any of this for anything less. The executive producers who dropped $15,000 bought it for the exact prices you're seeing here. They got it first. They got it, they got it a couple of weeks early. Like, we just heard from Jean. Jean would be somebody to even be in that theater. She was affiliated in some way. So that's it. So this is the discount rate, and it hasn't changed. And the Power Zero DVDs, those were always $9.95 each. They dropped at any quantity. We just did the first one at $8.95 on Black Friday, and that's been 4 years ago now? Something like that. Yeah, long time. 3 years, 4 years, whatever. So yeah, that's the discount rate. Sorry to take so long to answer that, but I want to hopefully help you understand why.
Yeah, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. There's one more important question I'd like to ask. Is it the same type of license to present at a private event, such as a community clubhouse for residents? Is it the same license as for that as a movie theater?
Yeah, you would get that exact same license. I would caution you because that other group has done one at a community center event, and they got a fraction of the people to attend that compared to what they got at the theater. I mean, when I say a fraction, I'm talking about 20 versus 195. People are enamored with theaters right now. And I would strongly encourage you to do that if you can right now for the next 6 months. This is a unique opportunity, and it's not going to be around, that long to be able to.
There was a question about territories or exclusive territories. There's none of that, right? I mean,
none of that.
Hey, this is first come, first serve. I mean, you can dominate your territory if you're the first one in. That's the way I look at it. I mean, and if you think that there's going to be 1,000 people in your area doing it, there's not. Okay, we had 500 people registered for this. We had 200 people on here. It's not like this is going to be swamped everywhere. You can dominate your area right now.
Yeah. And for the quantity of people, 80 million people we're talking about, you do the math, you're going to be just fine. And by the way, you're going to get more and more people at each showing sequentially, because you have the people who didn't come the first time, they wanted to, but they couldn't. You hit them up and all that stuff. But because the more they see it, the more interested they become. this becomes big and great if we get more people in our industry doing it.
Well, very good, Doug. I mean, we want to respect everybody's time. If you have any other questions, you can mail them to us, info@tomhegna.com, info@tomhegna.com, and we can get them over to Doug and we can get you the answers. But thank you all for attending. And Doug, thank you so much for doing the movie and making it available to advisors so that they can have a great 2021 finish and start to 2022.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.